Which comes back to the question.
Why?
Then what's the point of the freaking VAR for the longest time?
Welcome to the latest episode of Yahoo Footballing Weekly with me, Yahoo columnist Neil Humphreys.
And me, Yahoo editor Chia and Keong. And we have back our old friend Haizam.
Thank you for having me for the new season. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, first time this new season.
Yeah, we had to have you on as a Manchester City fan because this might be the last time they have the title. We get them in early. That's right.
Early.
115 charges.
Absolutely. Great first week of the English Premier League fixtures. Great weekend. Lots of upsets, lots of controversy, VAR decisions, Mo Salah having a sulk. Lots to talk about. But before we do that, we've got a special offer.
Obviously, StarHub has been the EPL broadcaster. So if you subscribe to them now, you get 1 year free broadband. Very good deal. Also, they've also renewed something special. They renewed the free live screenings at Sports Hub and our Tampines Hub.
Oh, that's good.
So for some of the matches, they'll show it live and free at those two places. So check the websites, check the social media pages. Check the dates where they'll show it the free screenings, and then you can go and enjoy yourself at our Tampines Hub or Sports Hub.
Fantastic. Are we going down? Are we going to MC the thing? Is that in the pipeline? You never know.
You never know.
Yeah. Watch this space.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of spaces, and I'm not just talking about all of Nunez's mistime runs. You see the segues? They're so good. The segues. Smooth.
Always Liverpool.
Opening weekend. What do we think? All right. Let's go down the line quickly. You're our guest, Manchester City.
Of course, it's a good result.
Easy first win.
First match.
3-0
against Burnley. Easy. Obviously, Vincent Kompany's team. Huh?
Are you implying something that we don't know? But it was a good game actually. If you look at it, like Burnley, I think coming back from the Championship, and Burnley under Vincent Kompany is a totally different team from the Burnley when they were back in the Premier League many seasons ago. Correct. So I think definitely is that champions versus newcomers in a way. Yeah. And I think with Haaland continuing what he had last season.
2 goals.
Yeah, 2 goals. Let's see how it goes. It's just first game,
But okay, fair enough. Very straightforward win. But during the win, I think Kevin De Bruyne got injured again.
Yeah.
How and now without Gundogan, without Mahrez, how do you think the team will respond?
Okay, this is gonna be I think this season, like what I said last season, with now De Bruyne being injured, being injured again, I think the Pep will have another problem in his hand. It's like, okay, who's gonna be the sole playmaker in the team? And I think this is the time where Foden can step up to be the playmaker, because for the longest time, I think when he burst into the scene, he had to play second fiddle to David Silva, and Kevin De Bruyne was in the team. So I think this is the time for him to actually step up to really play. And I think with Pep, you need to convince him that I need to play in my preferred position. For the longest time right now, because he has always been playing in the wings. Because he has the pace. So I think now is for him to show that, I can take up that role. Hopefully, can be a good replacement.
Speaking of Pep, I have to ask, I'm one of Pep's biggest fans, and Guardiola has his Guardiola mannerisms.
Yeah.
But the Haaland thing, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
he comes on and he criticises him in front of a full house. I heard Alan Shearer talk about this, and Alan Shearer said, if any manager did that to me, they would instantly regret it. Now, I'm a fan of Guardiola, but there's no need for this kind of histrionics. Why is he doing this, Haizam? That's what the dressing room is for. What goes on, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. Why is he doing this?
For me, right, I mean, like, I agree with you. I love Pep, like when he bursts into the scene as a manager, right, he's like a very unique manager.
Intense.
To be a fly on the wall when Pep is in the dressing room, it's always been that kind of like, what is he thinking?
There need to be a fly on the wall. It happened on the pitch. We just watched it on the pitch.
Even that, okay, like I remember, I read somewhere that it happened before when he actually screwed Foden on the pitch.
Yeah.
So then Foden was unhappy with it, took it to the dressing room. He said like, don't do that to me again, And Pep actually apologized.
He's done it again. He's done it with Haaland.
Yeah. So, but I think that's the with Pep, right? Like even De Bruyne had that. You remember the one that he wanted to talk to the ref, and then he was like arguing with Pep. Yeah. But I think this time around, because Haaland, obviously everyone was looking at him, 2 goals, already, and then
he had to back away
the cameraman. So obviously is that passion sometimes Pep doesn't know, like, I think Pep doesn't know how to read the room.
But this is my segue as we get into Liverpool, because there are different rules here. Guardiola and Klopp do get away with certain things. You know, they chalk it up to their eccentricities as an elite manager that I don't think a David Moyes or another manager would get away with. The way that Klopp berates officials on the touchline, the way that Guardiola addresses Foden and Haaland, they do seem to get away with things because they're elite managers, like the way that Ferguson used to.
Like if you win a title, you grants you a bit of
I think so.
Maybe
Diplomatic immunity. I don't know what it is, but they seem to have it.
But here's the thing. But here's the interesting part. Like, okay, like even when Ferguson, we were talking about Ferguson and Wenger, when they were managers, they kind of have that free pass. You know what? Like, if I need to kind of like show my
I think subconsciously everybody, like even the players or referees, will feel, okay, this guy has won things before. Maybe he knows what he's talking about. I don't know.
No, I think you got something in it. I mean, let us know what you think as always. Now, Liverpool, speaking of free passes, I've got plenty to say about Liverpool.
Okay.
I'm not very happy about Liverpool at the moment. What do you think of their performance? Okay. So the column I wrote for Yahoo on all platforms, great game as a spectacle, great fun, end to end, but it was all style and no substance. It was fluid through the midfields on both teams. Chelsea don't have anyone up front. They probably will have by the time you hear this podcast. Who knows, right? And we know that they've got issues in defensive midfield. Liverpool. I saw what Jamie Carragher said. He was very scathing. And I'm with Carragher on this. You cannot blame the Fenway Sportsway group, FSG.
Yep.
Yes, for what's happening right now. They offered the money. They offered the money for Caicedo, right? Klopp, the coaching staff, the scouting networks, whoever, they've known about their central midfield issues for a year. Yeah. They know about Milner's age, Henderson's age, Fabinho in his 30s. Forget the Saudi Arabia thing. This has been going on for a year. Why wasn't Caicedo taken care of? If you lose Caicedo to Chelsea, that's bad enough. If you lose the next one, Lavia, if you lose Lavia to Chelsea as well, that is an absolute disgrace. They've gone through 3 technical directors, I believe, in the last couple of years. They look a bit of a mess.
Yeah, ever since Michael Edwards departed Liverpool as a technical director last December, I think, and then they quickly got a new Julian Ward as the technical director, and he left immediately after, and now we got a temporary technical director, and it's very naive the way they went for Caicedo and Lavia.
Yeah.
It's like they're believing that Chelsea wouldn't trump them like that. So but Chelsea, I don't know how. Firstly, I don't know how they circumvent the financial fair play rules, but they were able to trump. They could able to bid again for Caicedo and again for Lavia without any consequences. I think this is still a developing story. We'll see what's going to happen. But I think the way Liverpool went about its acquisition of a very key position that they need is naive. I think they didn't expect Chelsea to trump them again.
Well, it kind of looks like, only from what I've read and heard, that they agreed a fee between the two clubs, which happens without really speaking to the player and his management people properly, when he made it clear to his people that he only ever wanted to go to Chelsea. But they just assumed, rather patronisingly, it's a done deal. Naive. They didn't do their due diligence.
Brighton wanted the thing sorted before the first weekend. And they opened like a fire sale since Chelsea weren't doing anything about it. So since Liverpool thought, okay, since they opened the sale, I will bid the highest I can bid, which is a British record.
100
but they didn't realize that, the player, like you said, the player was reluctant to move to Liverpool, and then now, and then they allow the agent to sort things out for Chelsea to get Caicedo, and it is like you said, and I agree it wasn't a very good transfer way to do it.
I mean, having grown up in London, you can't blame him for not wanting to go to Liverpool.
I've been to London and Liverpool.
It's an apple and orange comparison actually, if you look at it. But here's the thing, we spoke about it in my podcast. So we're talking about the Liverpool issues. Like, Liverpool fans are blaming FSG for this drama.
No, not this.
I'm not this.
They
one.
put forward £100 million. They were about to break the British transfer record to buy Casido. How on earth can you blame them when they've put the money up?
And I think they forgot that like the transfer window, the transfer deal it's not a first timer for Klopp. You know, he and the scouting team will have known that, okay, we need to refresh the team, you know. So this is the money that is given by FSG. And obviously there are funds to buy players. But somehow or other, that convincing part is somehow lost in translation in terms of like the agent. Like, and what you mentioned, you know, clubs agreed on the fee, but you're not talking to the player.
I think the technical director, this new technical director, Jorge, I don't think he did enough to convince the other side to bend it to Liverpool's way.
Yeah, but then again, Klopp should have come into the picture. Like, I want that player. You know, right now it's like, as a manager, you know that your midfield needs changing. You already lost Keita, you know, Fabinho, you know, and now you got Henderson, and then you have, and Henderson is your captain for the team.
Yeah.
You know that your midfield needs, you know, and remember that I think before they were blowing kisses to Jude Bellingham, you know, saying that, you know, and I think social media was like rampant, like, oh, Jude wants to join Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. And look what happened. You know, it's like there's no final touch of like, let's put this finishing touch.
I think I have to say, I think Liverpool overall, we don't know who's to blame, but looking at it from the outside, it looks amateurish.
Yeah,
it looks very, very amateurish. Especially, this moves on to the rest of the transfers, especially when you look at this Saudi situation. I cannot, I stress enough how serious I think this is now. Neymar feels like a real turning point.
Yeah.
Neymar going to the Saudi League at 31, still relatively in his prime, one of the world's top players, for wages and wages alone, should be an alarm bell in every major club in the world. Mancini's just gone over there as well, the manager from Italy. Yeah, so you've got Roberto Mancini. He resigned from the national job in Italy to take the job in Saudi. So if you talk about financial fair play and if you talk about big transfer fees, both of them become irrelevant now. They're going after wages. Saudis are going after wages. If the best players like Neymar in the Liga 1, La Liga, Serie A, and even the EPL, if they're saying, okay, silverware is good, elite prestige is good, but if you're going to double, triple, quadruple, or 5 times, 6 times my weekly wages, I'm going. I think that's a real line in the sand, guys. I think the Neymar move is a tipping point I didn't see coming so soon.
Yeah, I was also pretty surprised, but he was joining the team that is playing at the AFC Champions League.
Yeah.
So, you know, he might be going for another Champions League till whether he win it
in a different continent Champions League.
Yeah, but I mean, it's worrying. Liverpool have been a bit damaged by the transfer because it was if had Henderson and Fabinho not been allured by the high wages, we had McAllister and Szoboszlai in, and then the actually the midfield sounds like wow, it is a good midfield, but now we are scrambling to get even our third choice defensive midfielder.
Is it? Do you feel like it's a panic situation? Just it's unfounded panic situation by Liverpool.
I think it is a panic. I think
100%.
I think you're right, Haizam. I think 100% this is a panic.
Yeah.
Even Klopp has alluded to it without saying he didn't expect them all to go.
Yes.
But when Fabinho is offered that kind of money, when Henderson is offered that kind of money, £600,000 a week.
Now there's a viral clip on Twitter. This fan was at the mix zone. This Arabian fan was at the mix zone.
The journalist, right? Yeah, actually, I think it was a journalist that
give Fabinho a Rolex watch, just because he helped the team to win.
Jeez,
this fan
I gave the Liverpool players a fist bump.
We get
That's all I could afford, a fist bump.
And then you just give
come
a
to
Rolex
Singapore,
watch.
come to Singapore, Liverpool, and the Singapore journalists will give you fist bumps.
If you want no Rolex watch, I'm sorry.
Go to Saudi Arabia.
Maybe we get you prata. But coming back to the point that like if Saudi has the money, you know, and everyone knows that it's obviously there's some backwheeling, you know, behind all this deal with the Saudi coming into the picture, getting all these players, because in a way that what they are doing is that they are doing what China did.
Yeah, but this is a
whole new level. And I think also to bring out a point, I read about why Tevez took the offer at China, because he grew up poor.
Yeah. I read that.
And I think coming back again when we look at footballers' career, it's a short career. Like if I can get my money, it's like if I earn 1 million a week, right? I'm set up for life actually. Look at and
Well,
going to
I think
Saudi
they were
Gold-
pretty set up for life
yeah,
before.
yeah. But the thing is,
Now they're set up
think-
for their great grandchildren.
Yeah, I think they're thinking about the fact that like what if like let's face it, I'll just take the money. I mean, by having these elite players in the league, it kind of like raises the standards a bit. I wouldn't say a lot, but it's just a bit. But then again, coming back to it's a short-term fix.
It's
Because-
also sports watching.
Yeah.
You're
Of course, it's
watching that
sports washing.
image.
It's
Yeah,
nothing
so-
but sports washing.
so
Grander
Ronaldo-
skill.
Yeah, Ronaldo, Neymar, Benzema,
Yes.
all in the league.
As
It's
I said to you,
Mahrez, Benzema,
Firmino.
Well, he's
Koulibaly.
16, 17 players
Yeah.
alone from the
Yeah.
EPL, right? And it's happened so quickly, or elite football. It's happened so quickly. I see more going before the end of the
Yeah.
transfer window. Probably a few big names
Yes.
because the money's just so obscene. As I said to you, Qatar World Cup ennobled and enabled all of them.
Yes.
They realised if we got away with that, when we had the worst safety record from FIFA's checkers for the World Cup, we had the wrong climate, we managed to change the World Cup. We don't even have the infrastructure, we build it anyway. We don't even have a vibrant local scene, and we got away with it. We got away with it. There's no stopping them now.
Yep, there's no stopping him.
And I think it's going to keep running on with that one. All right,
What do you think of this
Yes,
Saudi
what do you
transfer?
think? Let us know. Send all of your comments too.
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Quick word, I've got to get this in. VAR. I know we're going to come back to this.
Can I just walk away from this?
No, seriously. The principle of VAR, I actually support.
Yeah.
If you can get the correct decisions, we want the correct decisions. Of course we do, right? Goal line technology, bad offsides, things that the referee misses, no problem. The VAR at the weekend was annoying on every conceivable level. Just do the quick ones. So the Chelsea-Liverpool game, clear handball. It hits the fella, the Chelsea defender, right? Hits the Chelsea defender. He changes the direction of the ball.
The ball was goal bound though.
He changes the flight of the ball. And this crap about his arms were at his side and
was too
what is he,
close.
chicken? I mean, the arms were at his side. It wasn't intentional. Handball rule, simplified, I've always believed, is the manslaughter rule. If I kill you, you're still dead, right? You give me the lesser charge, but you're still dead. If I change the direction of the ball, you give me the lesser charge. You don't send me off, but you still give the penalty, right? Because you've changed the course of the ball. That was one. The second one, the Man U one.
That was even worse.
Oh, Nana, I know he plays with his feet. He played with his fists in that one. He almost took the guy's head off, right? Nobody sees it. You've got every guy sitting there in the VAR booth. What are they doing? What are they paid for?
Let's just put it this way. I think the referees in EPL have no clue about how to do the VAR thing. It's getting terrible. Like, okay, I had a discussion with my fellow team with the United Wolves game. So he was looking from a perspective that it was a 50-50 challenge. There were two Wolves players going for the ball.
And the thing is that the ball went over, so
Yeah.
like not interfering with
Yeah,
play.
it's not
That's the
interfering,
reason they give like.
So the thing, but then again, I think what Riggs discussed was that the referee actually talked to Gary O'Neill, saying that he felt that he made a mistake with that call.
Yeah.
Which comes back to the question.
Why?
Then what's the point of the freaking VAR for the longest time? I have talked about this for the longest time. Coming to Yahoo, even on my own podcast and Snapshot Studio, it's like we are talking like what use is for the VAR if you can't get it right?
Machines are taking over man, right? I
And
think
they're still doing it wrong.
it's the geeks who couldn't play football at school. They are now running the game. I have felt this for the longest time. The geeks run the world, whether it's Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, the kids who are no good at
Or
sport,
the people at VAR.
and now the people running VAR.
I'm sorry, but the
The
VAR
autocrats, the technocrats, whatever you want to, they're taking all the fun and the joy and the beauty and the visceral elements of the game that we love, the human error element, and it's become like watching a game of cyborgs. Honestly, it's just too much. They're taking the thrill out of it. And last point, they're neglecting the most important people in the world when it comes to football, and that's the people inside the stadium. The people who turn up week after week, buy their season tickets, buy their tickets, and give us, the rest of the world, the atmosphere. And they're the last people to know what's going on at their own event. It's just not right. It's just not right. I don't know what you guys think, but you can tell what we think. Let us know what you think. But let's finish with something much more positive.
Oh, yeah.
The Women's World Cup.
Yeah, we're now right as we're recording. It's the first semi-final is happening. Sweden versus Spain.
Yep.
So we don't know the score yet, but the next day of this recording is England versus Australia.
Yep.
Or when Australia won the quarterfinal via penalties, you can see all the entire nation thinking they are the greatest.
Well, as I said last week, I'm repeating it again this week. It's broken all TV records in Australia. It really has. They say the Melbourne Cup, the horse race, stops the nation, but this really stopped the nation.
This really united the nation.
Absolutely. And it feels like a real turning point for Australia in support of the round ball game. Because I know they've got 4 different footy codes, right? Rugby league, rugby union, Aussie rules, and soccer. But this has really taken huge strides for the game in Australia, which just shows the potential for Singapore.
I think around the world as well, the people like now you can see regular people talking about the Women's World Cup. Even though sometimes they get on my nerves saying, "Oh, is Women's World Cup is the women's standard equal as men?" Obviously, they are not.
It's just different.
It's different. Yes, you want if you say, "Oh, the standard is so low, I don't want to watch because the standard is not as high as."
But that
it's
shows
a very wrong. It's a very wrong argument.
It's not about standard. It's like comparing women's tennis to men's tennis. It's very different, but it's just as impressive.
Exactly, and in fact, the more. The less skillful they are, the more you feel like you are trying to urge them on from the TV.
And I think you can relate.
You can relate to their struggles on the pitch. They are struggling to get past the tight defenses like England and Australia, I think. And that's the fun in watching and rooting for people, for footballers in a football match.
Yeah.
It's not just about watching elite football, great skills by Messi or Ronaldo. Even if you don't know any of the female players, you want to support them. You feel that they are worth your support.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. 100%. And what's great about this semi-final is you've got 2 nations who hate each other. I mean, proper hate. I lived in Australia for 5 years. And so you've got the colonial history, you've got the sporting history, you've got the cricket history, right? And also this year, so you've had the Ashes, which was a drawn series.
There was a controversy there. Yeah.
Correct. You had the Netball World Cup final, which Australia stuffed England in that. And so it could be 3rd time lucky for England. And you could feel the seething already.
Yeah.
England will lose to anybody but Australia. And Australia will lose to anybody except England. And the fact that they're playing each other at Sydney. And Australians could be unbearable at the best of times with cricket. But if they beat England in the round ball game, I can't even they're going to be insufferable. And in my house, my daughter, she's falling in love with the whole thing. If I hear Sweet Caroline one more time, right? Sweet Caroline, dun, dun, dun. It's been played non-stop for a week, so it's great. But it does show again that what the women's game can do to galvanise the nation. And it's a message for Singapore.
Yeah,
it's a message for Singapore.
Out if you don't take a watch. It's free on MeWatch or StarHub or whatever channel it is.
Yeah.
Go have a watch. It's fun.
I can't wait. But let us know what you think about the Women's World Cup. Is it the future for Singapore? Should we put all our money in the women's game? Let us know. Send all of your comments to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
He's got it. Thank you very much, Haizam.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. As a Manchester City fan, enjoy the title before you lose it this season to Arsenal.
150 charges and counting.
He doesn't forget. I forgot already.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for all your comments, as always. And we'll see you in part 2, where we get stuck into Singapore football. See you there. Sweet Caroline.
Convict colony. Convict colony. Convict colony.